Hello everybody, I'm JayLeonardJ, and today we are checking out the Helena by B&G Guitars. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is guitar day, never a dull moment, and I got myself a heartbreaker on the bench. It is the B&G Helena, and it's a P90 version of the guitar. They have a couple different pickup configurations. It's coming in all the way from Israel, and man, what a stunner it is. Look at that. I love the lines here, you know, right along here, even over here. It kind of reminds me of a couple, like, different guitars, you know, like a little bit of like, I don't know, Airline and Dan Electro and Gibson like SG and Gibson Les Paul Jr. kind of vibes going on, while really still being its own thing in terms of the way it plays and everything. It's like the feel, like in terms of the feel of it and the sound of it, has a lot of great vintage tones, but just the fit and finish is super modern, really, really clean stuff. And there's just a little bit more precision and definitely just a beautiful boost in build quality. We got a one-piece mahogany body. We got a one-piece mahogany neck, and we got a rosewood fingerboard, hand-wound by B&G P90. So they really spent a lot of time getting it just right for them. And then Go-Toe, open back tuners. Go-Toe wraparound bridge for some maximum sustained fun and just lovely, lovely sounds. The neck is really interesting, and that kind of brings me to that old school kind of feel, because it's a V-neck that reminds me a lot of this 0018V guitar I used to have. It's an acoustic by Martin, and it has this really nice V to it, really cups your hand in a lovely, lovely way. This is the neck pickup. And you hear that touch? It still has all that P90 grunt and girth to it, but a little extra attack, you know, in the initial transient. And I attribute it to the fact that the scale length is just a little bit longer. So you got like a Les Paul scale length, a Fender scale length. This is kind of right in between at 25 1/8. So you do have the full fidelity of those P90s, the bark and the grunt, while having just a little extra I don't know, clarity. And I think that kind of helps things, especially with P90s, which can sometimes get a little bit too muddy. And here's more neck. And bridge. Now the amp I have it connected to is a Tone King Imperial, and I'm on the actual clean setting. So this is kind of like a mid 60s era Fender Deluxe sound. And you can tell I'm really pushing those preamp tubes a little bit. Now let's go on to the tweed side of this amp, and you'll hear that like really classic P90 sound, especially in the bridge. Now, what's really nice about the thing they did to this guitar is the way they wired it. They actually are wiring it a little bit different. They wired it in the kind of the 50s Les Paul kind of way, in which the tone knob is actually wired to a little bit of a different part of the volume knob, which gives you a nice roll off. So instead of it getting darker as you roll down the volume, the tone stays relatively consistent as you roll down. It's a much more natural way to have that roll off than actually doing it with the treble bleed mod, which I really like. It's just a really nice way of rolling down and cleaning up without losing the high end. Really beautiful stuff. Let's turn on a fuzz. I'm getting like excited. Go back to the clean channel. And here's a silk tone fuzz, nice and raunchy. Well, that is it. That is the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe to the page if you haven't done so already. Check out the links in the description below. And if you want to hear my review on the B&G Helena, check it out on Patreon. All the reviews are on Patreon, sponsored by the Patreon supporters, and all my demos, tutorials, all the other stuff is right here on YouTube. That being said, I'll see you all soon. Take care and goodbye.